The way we consume and share news today is largely rooted in social media outlets. A reason why we decided it is important to look at what's being discussed online, from the hottest issues to trends. Let's try to keep up for our daily social media minute. We're joined by Erica. Good morning.
Good morning.
From the comfort of our own home.
Yeah. Not too shabby.
All right, let's jump into our first buzzword this morning. So the National Museum of Korea is creating a lot of buzz for what's dubbed the collector's invitation. It sounds exclusive enough. We're getting a look into some of the first-time pieces to be unveiled to the public, courtesy of partially the Igoni collection, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right. So we talked about this Egon He collection, the collection, when we've talked about it several times since the family donated it last April to the National Museums here in South Korea. Everybody was surprised, including those in the art circle. Because the collection included around 23,000 pieces, which included national treasures and rare Korean artworks. You know, if you're having a difficult time processing that number, 23,000 pieces of artworks, the Louvre itself has a total of 35,000 pieces, I believe. So it's not quite there, but you can imagine just how large this collection is.
Because if you've ever been to the Louvre, you usually don't do it in a day. You break it down into a few days because there's so much to take in. And now I'm just questioning, where did the late chairman store all these pieces while he was alive?
That's a good question. But to mark the first anniversary of the donation of this collection to national museums, the Korean Museum, the National Museum of Korea, and the National Museum of Modern and Contemporary Art have selected works from the collection that embody the identity of Korean culture for an exhibition titled A Collector's Invitation. And that exhibition opens to the public today.
I'm all about this having a view so the public can enjoy more exclusive artworks, but can I get my tickets? I'm not quite sure. The last time something similar happened, it was impossible to get myself in. There's a pretty intimate tone around this title itself, A Collector's Invitation. It makes any of us feel like maybe we have a personal invitation to this collector's space.
Well, that was the goal, to make people feel like they have been personally invited to the home of the collector. As you walk in to the exhibition area, there's a sculpture titled Gate by pioneering Korean sculptor Kwon Jin-gyu. And there's a quote at the entrance next to the sculpture that reads, "This door will lead to our home of art collections." And as the visitors enter, they can also catch the scent of tea leaves being roasted underneath this huge table that serves as a platform for exhibiting, delicate teapots and teacups.
That is so clever. I mean, whoever the curators are behind this particular exhibition is genius. It's so simple, but if you think about what scent can do for, I don't know, a powerful real estate agent, apple pie was a thing, right? Maybe this could have a similar effect. Yep. Not that the artworks are up for sale. Let's talk about some of these exclusive pieces that will be on display during the 1-year anniversary exhibition.
So there are going to be 355 artifacts, including 21 treasures. Among the 21 treasures, there are 6 state-designated national treasures. One of them is the famous ink painting titled Clearing After Rain on Mount Inwang by Cheongseon from the 18th century. The highlights of the exhibition also include story of the Cheong family's filial son, or Cheong Hujajeon, and the story of the Cheong family's filial wife, Cheong Buinjeon. And these are ink writings on silk by Choson scholar Cheong Ya-kyung. And there's another piece that is already grabbing many people's attention. Claude Monet's The Water Lily Pond is being unveiled for the first time at the exhibition. This piece is estimated to have been painted between 1917 and 1920 by the French Impressionist painter.
So apparently I don't have to travel to Paris. We can bring Paris just to you at the National Museum of Korea. Who knew? So for those of you guys who are not big art followers, that's okay. That's why we're doing a little refresher. Monet created more than 250 paintings of water lilies in the garden he cultivated in Giverny.
That's right. The painting is accompanied by a digital image that is projected onto the floor that makes visitors feel like they're actually walking into the garden of the collector's house. And a number of Joseon era furniture from the 18th and 19th centuries that were used at royal palaces are also part of the exhibition. There's also a white porcelain bottle painted in an underglaze of cobalt blue, and it's titled The Faceted Bottle with Bamboo. This piece is from the 18th century, and it really shows the beauty and craftsmanship of Joseon porcelain.
All right. So how big of a window do I have to snag a ticket to get to this exhibition?
Very good question. I failed myself in trying to secure myself during the last exhibition of this collection, but this particular collection will run through August 28th at the National Museum of Korea. And to visit, you have to book a spot online. A maximum of 100 people will be admitted to each session. 30 slots will be set aside for on-site ticket buyers, and there are going to be a total of 15 to 21 sessions every day.
All right. We get a 4-month window.
But you really have to make those online reservations fast because they fill up really quickly.
Honestly, Erica, your segment is a daily reminder for me to maybe get myself a supercomputer or something faster than my regular good old laptop. All right, there you have it. A collector's invitation. Look it up if you're curious. On to our second story. Now, I can't believe this is causing a sort of a controversy. Children's Day is supposed to be a celebration of, well, kids, right? And we're supposed to celebrate, I don't know, their growth, whatever their dreams may be. Yeah. It's actually supposed to be a celebratory occasion, but it turns out, perhaps unintentionally, one of the perks offered on Children's Day might have been a slight discrimination.
Yes, there was a notice on the Deoksugung Palace website posted by the Cultural Heritage Administration. It was an online announcement that was posted, and this particular announcement appears to notify visitors that foreign children will be excluded from free admission to the city's main palaces on Children's Day. And this apparent discrimination has sparked public outrage after it was brought to light on social media by a political commentator, Shin Jin-kwon.
Okay, so who posted that is also maybe a point of contention too. Shin Jin-kwon doesn't necessarily always have the support of all the spectrum, right? However, putting us that aside for a moment to take a look at whether this was discriminatory or not, I think is important. What exactly did the Heritage Administration's online announcement say?
The announcement said that 7 royal tombs and palaces would offer free or partially free admission to the public on Children's Day, which falls on May 5th. It said the same would apply on the day of the presidential inauguration on May 10th and throughout the palace culture festival period, which happens annually from May 10th through the 22nd. Now, the announcement read, quote, free admission for up to 2 accompanying guardians of children, and in smaller letters, it said children up to 12 years old, foreign children excluded. And this post was deleted on Wednesday morning because there was a huge uproar.
Okay, so I'm sure the Cultural Heritage Administration tried to provide an explanation. Was it just a mix-up, or what was the intention behind that message?
Well, I think they did admit that some of the sentences may have caused misunderstanding, that foreign children and their guardians would not be allowed admission. But it said the entrance fee policy for foreign children remains the same as on regular days. So on regular days, foreign children under the age of 6 are given free admission, and foreigners aged 7 to 18 are charged 500 won. Those aged between 19 and 64 are charged 1,000 won. These are for foreigners on regular days. The official went on to say that the only difference is whether the accompanying guardians would have to pay or not. But I think they completely missed the point here
I,
and
I
why the public is so angry.
Right, exactly. I think addressing what upset the public is probably first, not trying to, cover their grounds and saying there was a misunderstanding. That could just cause a secondary kind of ripple effect of backlash as well. The official is saying that the controversy arose from a simple misunderstanding of the online posts, but public criticism is directed completely elsewhere. People are pointing out that the admission policy is clearly discriminating against children of different nationalities. So better wording might have not cleared the air for that.
I think so. And my question is, how are the palaces and tombs going to determine who are foreign children, who the foreign children are, and who are Korean children? Are they going to judge these children by their appearances? It's tricky.
I think it leaves room for even further discrimination. So why would they come up with such a vague set of rule in the first place? Why wasn't there a group of people who stopped the post from going up? I think that's a more important sticking point in that discussion. All right. Inclusivity, it's important. On to our last word today. Speaking of inclusivity, should these small cafes and restaurant owners be responsible for creating wheelchair ramps so that those who are living with discomfort in their lives can have access to the same restaurants too?
Well, starting next month, new or renovated establishments, cafes, and restaurants with a floor space of more than 50 square meters will be required to install something called convenience facilities for the disabled, including wheelchair ramps. The Ministry of Health and Welfare says that a partial revision of the enforcement ordinance of the law concerning the improvement of convenience for the disabled, elderly, and pregnant women had passed at a recent cabinet meeting, and things are going to become a little bit more convenient for the disabled.
I mean, there has been growing calls to make especially Seoul City more accessible and equal for those who are living with disabilities or even the minorities who may need a little bit of help, right? Including but not limited to the elderly and the pregnant people you've talked about. It has been pointed out that the disabled using wheelchairs should have, again, better access to these smaller neighborhood convenience facilities. So what will change under this new enforcement ordinance the convenience facilities would require?
All right, so supermarkets, daily necessity stores, restaurants, bakeries, beauty salons with a floor space of more than 50 square meters, also general clinics, dental clinics, oriental medicine clinics, maternity centers, and postpartum clinics with a floor space exceeding 100 square meters, and public bathhouses with a floor space exceeding 300 square meters will all be required to have convenience facilities for the disabled installed. Now, to minimize the economic burden of existing small businesses, this new enforcement ordinance will be applied to facilities that will be newly built, expanded, or renovated starting May 1st.
All right. So small steps to these changes, but I'm glad that it's being made anyhow. Thank you very much, Erica, for this morning's coverage.
Hi, sure.
We'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
If you're listening to our program using the podcast service, just a reminder that we do go live Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Korea Standard Time. So tune in and help us make the show more informative by giving us your input. See you bright and early on Good Morning Seoul.